Hi girls, it's International Women's Day. So Thursday seemed to have been a day in which we have quite significant events happening. Last week there was so many things going on, and today it's International Women's Day, which I think is a very important day and especially relevant for our channel, seeing as we're 5 wonderful ladies. I think it's great how far we've come as women in this vast world and how we're so lucky to have a certain amount of equality. But like Jen said in her video on Tuesday, it's not really equal. There's a really good video actually that's done by Dame Judi Dench and Daniel Craig highlighting the discrepancies between men and women, especially in the workplace. I'll put a link down below so you can watch it. It's really good and it involves James Bond in drag, so I mean really, how can you go wrong? It's interesting actually, I've been reading a lot of articles about it recently, especially regarding feminism, which can still be seen as a dirty word. I know a lot of people will think if you say that you're a feminist that you're sort of this hairy armpitted, bra burning kind of man hater, and it's not true. Feminists believe that men and women are equal, and I think that anyone who isn't a feminist is really outdated in this day and age. I don't think any people that I know aren't. They won't necessarily call themselves feminists, but they do certainly believe that men and women can be equal, as it should be. And yet we're still put down in the workplace. You're much less likely to get a woman high in power than you are a man, and we still have to protect ourselves from being attacked, whereas men don't really think about it. I saw a really interesting post on Tumblr actually regarding a man who went to a feminist conference, and the lecturer there asked the men what they do to protect themselves when they go out at night, and none of them said anything because they don't. They asked the women, and every single woman had something to say, and I think that really just highlights how much we are still oppressed in this society, because I get really scared about walking out at night by myself. It's where I cycle everywhere, and I always think of what I could use as a weapon in case someone comes up and attacks me. And because we have such a victim-blaming culture, especially when it comes to rape, you tend to think more of don't be attacked rather than don't attack, which I think is something that really needs to be highlighted. But then the slut walks are doing that as well, so I think we really are pushing forward especially. Another area which I didn't actually realise so much was the English language. In general, the English language is hugely biased against women. There's an article in The Guardian that I read, which I'll put another link down below, regarding how words concerning madness are often linked to women. For example, hysterical. For women is really trying to be loud. Of course our voices go shrill because that's the way our voices work. And then it's kind of seen as less in control, and women get hysterical, which relates to hystericus, which relates to the uterus. In fact, when women are hysterical, they used to perform hysterectomies, removing the uterus in order to cure their madness, and to cure lunacy, which relates to the lunar cycle, which relates to a week of madness that women had. I wonder what that relates to. But still, it's not all bad. We certainly do have much more equality, and I for one really like being a girl. There's so much that we get to do, and I think that female friendships are just especially brilliant and definitely something to be celebrated. Our freedom is something to be celebrated. I'm going to be celebrating International Women's Day by having all my girlfriends over, and we'll watch some really bad films and sing star and kind of eat sweets, being really stereotypical, but it will be very enjoyable, and I hope you girls have a lovely International Women's Day too. So Michelle, I hope you had a wonderful birthday, and I will see you tomorrow.